Hello summoners, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to talk about Kingpin. Now even before his buff he always had some pretty decent utility, especially with the Mr. Sinister synergy, and now he also has pretty good damage. As you can see, like from the first 5 hit combo he's hitting like 11,000 mediums, 7,000 light attacks, 25,000 heavy attacks. So this guy, he's hitting pretty hard. And I misplayed the your SP2 is unblockable if you have the overpower fury, I guess, and not the heavy attack fury. I'm not sure exactly how it works. It's not a complete guide by any means. This is more like a first look, first impressions video. And but look at that, those heavy attacks are awesome. The power lock from the Mr. Sinister synergy just makes playing him so much easier. And there we had 3 furies, so I just wish his crit rate was a little bit higher. But you can see like 15,000 medium, 12,000 medium, it's over 50 hits I think is all it took, and Captain Marvel went down. So I wanted to open him up a little bit more, so we took him against the Labyrinth of Legends Red Hulk. Now this is not a pre-fight and it is a solo, but for a rank 3 6 star with class advantage, it's not really a big deal to solo a Labyrinth of Legends fight anymore. But Kingpin, I think he's great for a particular health pool. I don't think he's made for something like Labyrinth. Mole Man on the other hand, I did use him against Labyrinth Red Hulk and he did really well. I will be uploading that video a little bit later today. And we also used Mole Man a lot in variant 2 and variant 5. And yeah, Kingpin, I think he's a very good character. I think, like, I did a poll yesterday and he got the most votes. Like, people think that he got the best buff. I'd say, like, in my opinion, Mole Man's buff is a little bit better. And then it's Kingpin, then Terrax, and then Yellow Jacket is... I haven't done... like, I heard he's so underwhelming that I don't even want to play with him. And I didn't even read his abilities. But, yeah, as you can see right now here, like, the damage output, it's not bad. We're not critting that much. Like, his base crit is... as soon as I said we're not critting that much, we got back-to-back crits on the heavy attack. But when we are critting, you can see some decent numbers come out of him. And overall, he is a character that is pretty hard. Even I bet as a 565 character, he would be pretty good. Again, there is a lot of utility that this guy brings to the table. He is a XL villain character, so great for variant 2, great for variant 5. He has defensive ability reduction on the degeneration from the SP1. Not that many characters are immune to degeneration, unless like they're debuff immune, I guess. Then that's pretty much the only case where you won't get that defensive ability reduction. Plus with the Mr. Sinister synergy, you have really good power control. Like, the power lock on this guy is pretty underrated, I'd say. And I have seen there is a YouTuber called Virat, and he, like, even before the buff, way before the buff, with that synergy he soloed 6.2 Mordo, and that is one of the worst fights in Act 6 or the like the game in general. It's a pretty hard fight, and the fact that Kingpin could solo it before the buff is kind of amazing, and I'm sure he can do it much easily now. On top of that, like, shrugging off debuffs, having furies, so there is a lot this guy can do. And I think he, like, in terms of the skill class, it's not the it is the weakest class. But after the Mole Man and Kingpin buff, I would rate these two guys. They're kind of near the top 5 list. Like, they can compete with characters like Falcon, Elsa Bloodstone, Stealth Suit Spider-Man. Not quite Aegon, Nick Fury level, which is fine. Like, these two characters, they weren't even the worst characters in the skill class. Now, I'm glad they buffed these two because I had them both as 6 stars. One of them, Kingpin, is now awakened, and Mole Man is at rank 3 already. So I'm happy about the buffs. They are both really good in my opinion. And are they worth rank 3 for any normal person? Probably not, but they were my best skill options at the moment, so I did end up taking Mole Man. And I think Mole Man is going to be really amazing for stuff like Alliance War. Both of them are actually pretty decent defenders as well, and I don't think that the buff will change that. They should do alright on defense. And yeah, that is pretty much going to do it. As you can see, like Red Hulk slowly is going down. It's not even that slow, it's just that we have characters like Nick Fury or Aegon even in the same class who can just take him much quicker. But you can't say, like, you can't look at the damage numbers and say that this guy is like a noodle or anything, because he is hitting pretty hard. It's just that he doesn't really have any damage over time except the SP1 degeneration. And I am running Suicide Mastery, so recoil would probably just kill me. By the way, the stun that you see there, this is a like Labyrinth fight, so you have Limber, but otherwise you have 100% chance of getting a stun after the SP3, and it's a pretty long, I think 3.5 second stun. And let's talk about his rage ability now. So the red circle with the white fist that you see on top of like the hit counter, that is basically his rage stacks. And if you have him awakened, he will start with some, and on top of that, like the way how you can gain them, if you shrug off any debuffs, you have like a 60% chance to purify. And I think he has some synergies which can increase this chance, but if you purify any debuffs on you, then you gain a rage stack. And I think that would be pretty good against nodes like long distance relationship, where you get a lot of weaknesses. And I think he would probably shrug them off and gain a lot of like rage stacks really quickly. This purify thing, it has a cooldown, but it's just like half a second, so he should be still really good for it. Now the other way to gain these charges is to take damage, which is not recommendable. It has a 20-second cooldown, so I guess if you get hit, you'll gain one, and then if you get hit again after 20 seconds, you'll gain another one. Not really practical, not sure why that is even a thing. But the other way of getting them is if enemy evades or auto blocks, which is nice because and that also has a very small cooldown. So against enemy and auto block characters, you can also go for SP1, reduce the defensive ability by 65%. And by the way, the SP1, it also reduces the incoming damage by 50% or something. Overall, he is pretty tanky-ish character, so yeah. And Red Hulk did go down there. So that is going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Like this video, share with your alliance, and bye bye. Stay safe.